Hello, relatives! Welcome to this week's Schlagbite for the week, May 4th, 2009, entitled Autistic Rider. Autism can be a profoundly disabling disease of childhood. As a medical student and a resident in psychiatry, it was a rare disorder, but now it reputedly affects 1 in every 150 kids. Autistic kids have, with varying degrees of severity, signs like they may isolate themselves, make repetitive, self-stimulating movements. They avoid eye contact, don't speak, have tantrums, and scream uncontrollably. Autism has proven frustratingly mysterious as a disease, which has spurred lots of pseudoscientific explanations and purported cures. Recently, the journal Nature reported a genetic analysis of autistic people that reveals a variation in that portion of their DNA that affects the way brain cells communicate. This research will open up new discoveries and treatment options that will surely include the creation of genetically engineered drugs to act on targeted brain sites, and these efforts will undoubtedly yield beneficial effects. They will also yield some untoward side effects. I'd like to add the idea that there are other ways to promote brain connections in the treatment of autism. For example, the recently published book, The Horse Boy, by Rowan Isaacson, is a story about his son Rowan, a charming blue-eyed boy who was diagnosed with autism when he was 2. That's when he began flapping his arms endlessly and babbling incoherently, obsessively lining up his toys, and often disconnecting with his surroundings and retreating into himself. One day, Rowan crawled under a fence, getting close to a neighbor's horse, and Rupert watched as the mare dipped her head submissively and stood perfectly still. Rowan became calm. Rupert, an avid horseman, was moved to take his son for a horseback ride. Holding Rowan in front of him, they walked, even trotted, and his son became quiet, and after that uttered his first word. Equine-assisted therapy is increasingly popular and well-researched as a treatment modality for people living with various physical and emotional challenges, including autism. There is the physical stimulation of riding, which exercises the same pelvic and trunk muscles that are used for walking, and it improves balance and coordination. Sitting high up on a horse can do wonders for a rider's confidence. And then there is the energetic relationship between the horse and the rider. The horse knows when the rider tenses, and as their trust grows, they move together with greater confidence. When Rowan was 5, his father, who was a journalist and human rights advocate, was going to Africa to attend a gathering of spiritual elders and healers. He decided to bring his wife, Kristen, a psychologist, and his son along. And while there, he took Rowan to see Shaman, who performed healing ceremonies for him. And afterwards, the boy became more settled, even spoke in short sentences. So his father wondered whether there might be a culture that combined horsemanship with shamanic healing, and he discovered the Mongols. Those tribal people are the direct descendants of the greatest horsemen in history, and it was their traditional healers who gave us the word shaman. In the summer of 2007, Rupert and his family went to Outer Mongolia and Siberia. Riding horseback across the steppes, they visited shaman, participated in many healing ceremonies, and those rituals were sometimes stressful. But by the time they got home, Rowan had made his first friends, and he was potty trained. He's 8 years old now and continues to improve. If Rowan Isaacson had started taking drugs early on, his successes, let's not talk about potential complications, would certainly have been attributed to the miracles of genetic engineering. Instead, we are witness to the magic of therapy that can take place in the presence of horses and shaman, all of whom can help us make new brain connections that move us beyond old limitations. That's what I'm thinking about this week. Have a great week. For those of you who get this Schlagbite because your friends send it to you and depend on their courtesy, subscribe to your own on www.healingdoc.com, and you'll be sure to get them every week or two. Have a wonderful week. Remember, we're all connected. To horses, to shaman, to healers, to the people that remind us that we are not alone. I say this for all my relations. Mitakuye.